Oh shit, here we go again.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Huh?
But wait! There's more!
Creeping up on us!
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Agent down.
Shine like this. MG orders ride with your bitch. If a shy, yeah, you know it don't miss. Deep range, my shot go switch. We riding now, windows riding through your town.
What's good, my Division community? Welcome back to another Tom Clancy Division 2 build PvE video. And y'all already know, you already seen the title. We are here. We are back with another build video like we always do every week. I appreciate everybody that's coming in, showing the love. I haven't talked about it as much, but y'all are killing. Y'all are killing. Y'all are going crazy with the channel. Y'all killing the likes. Y'all going crazy with the subscribes. I don't know what to say. I don't know what I can say is thank you and thank you, Lord. But I don't want to make this a shout out video. I'm probably going to end up doing that eventually down the line. But we're going to stay on topic. We're here to talk about a unique build. Now, enough of me talking. Let's dive straight into it. And as you see, we are in a shooting range. We normally don't do our videos in a shooting range, but I would just want to show certain people how this gun or how this I guess you could say stealth buff. I guess you could say works better. I mean, I talked about it in my previous video, but we're going to dive more into it. So let's dive straight into it right now. So we're going to talk about this build. So bam, bam, boom. We already know. If you know, if you've been here before, you've seen what specialist we're rocking with, we're going to talk about it. And for the new people, hey, come in, get some popcorn, you know, enjoy yourself. I'm going to show y'all, I'm going to blow your mind with something brand new. So stay tuned. So now, let's talk about a specialization. Now, wait. Let's talk about how we got the speaker on my character.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know how that happened, but okay, that kind of messed up the video a little bit. But anyway, specialization. We went with the firewall specialization. Now, you could go with any of the others, but I advise you to use the firewall specialization. I said this before, I'm gonna say it again. There's 3 reasons why you want to choose this. Step 1, it has the strongest kit, which means when you pop a kit, you get all your health back and you get armor back. As you see, this is a health build. You see, we at 1 million health and we got 1.2 million armor.
Alright, I'ma head out.
Do not, and I'm gonna say this again, do not let that 1.2 million armor and that 1 million health fool you. Don't let that. But we're going with this because this specialization has another perk, which is health on kill. Another perk or another attribute or whatever you want to call it that's in the game that we just don't have. We only get this from the specialization, and we also get this from Hunter's Fury, and we ain't playing for Hunter's Fury. So, and the other perk it comes with is another perk when your shield breaks, or I'm gonna say with shield breaks, but when your armor breaks, you actually put others on fire. So it comes into moments when you're getting jumped by multiple NPCs, your armor break, you put others on fire, and it actually gives you that clear way to actually, if you want to continue to kill them, or you could continue to just, you know, go pop a kid or whatever you want to do. But that's why we went with the specialization. The others, you could go what you want, but you're probably gonna get the best advantage from this. Step 2, let's talk about the modifier. Since we're here, you need to clear out your map. So what I mean by clear out your map, you have to basically clear out your control points to get all this green. Now, I believe there's some that's not green, like right up here. See, I'm losing out of the zone. The max is 30, as you see, but you know, we got 28, so you know, we only 2% off. So for y'all don't want to judge the build in the comments saying that it ain't hitting, trust me, we got basically 30% RPM and 30% total weapon damage. You get this on all your builds, on all your guns. This is just the standard global modifier. Just all you got to do is just clear out your control points, and if you want to get the max to the max proc of this without doing on this map, you could go towards the New York map and just clear out those zones and you will get this proc faster. But that's why we have for this. The next modifier we're going with is sanitation. Basically, you set enemies within a radius on fire. When the modifier is active, each unique enemy set on fire gets a 1 stack of sanitation, which grants extra damage to burning enemies on the maximum to 2 stacks. So we're getting damage, we're putting enemies on fire, and we're getting crazy repairs. And basically all you have to do is you just gotta crit and you put an enemy on fire, and then you get basically 110% repair back. And as you see, we have it to level 5, we have it a 7% stack, we have it lasting for 55 seconds, we have a cooldown for 45 seconds, which is not bad because at least we have the duration last longer. The explosion radius is 20 meters, which is very huge to put a lot of NPCs on fire. And we have a max stack is 10, so we could put 10 people on it. And then we also have 110% repairs. So as you've seen in the clip, every time I put anybody on a fire, when I have this modifier activated, I just get instantly repaired back up. So it's like you just technically always come back to life, basically. So that's why we went with sanitation. Now you could go with the other ones, like I believe Zealot or Zealot is one of the popular ones. You could use that, but I don't really use that. Now, to talk about the passive modifiers, I only went with these 3 because these are more universal for all NPCs. I went with Stepping Stone, I went with Batters Up, and I went with Ripper's Tear. Basically, all you gotta do is shoot a tank, you break his armor instantly, and you put the other enemies on bleed. And if you have, you know, a build with Sadist or whatever, you can do great damage. But that's why we went with these. These are all universal. You could choose on what you want to choose. Now, no need to talk about the pistol. I'm just here to blow that off. We ain't gotta talk about that. Now we're here to talk about, let's talk about the GR9. Secondary weapon doesn't really matter here, but you can use any weapon you want. But mainly, like how you heard me talk about it previously, I use this gun in situations, in certain situations, of when I'm getting jumped by multiple NPCs, like how I'll explain it. If I'm getting jumped by like 6 to 8 different NPCs, or when they come out different spawns, if I have this GR9 and I have Frenzy on it, so I always keep this Frenzy talent locked in a chamber. I always have it ready. So whenever I need to like clear out like the Terminator, I swap over to this GR9. I clear out what I gotta clear out. But like how I said, this gun is not the main gun on it. We're gonna get to that very soon. But I'm just here to talk about a secondary, because a lot of y'all be asking me to showcase this or what I'm using for secondary. So this is what I'm using: GR9, Frenzy, crit chance, rate of fire stability, crit chance, all the good stuff. But we're gonna talk about the build real quick. So you see we got 2-piece Palisades, right? We went with the 2-piece Palisades because you want the armor on kill, 60% health. But that's why we went with this, because it got 60% health, we got armor on kill, we got health and crit damage to crit damage. Same thing for the holster, we got health, crit damage, and we basically took it to from an armor core to weapon core. You could go up if you want to, but I'd rather be at 1.2 because I want to shred stuff fast, and you will understand. You've seen the clips, so you definitely understand, but when you play with it actually and you see how it's working, you would definitely feel and understand why I'm at 1.2. Now we went with 3-piece Seska, because Seska gives you the highest health pool. You see, it gives you 8% critical hit chance, which is not bad. It gives you 20% hazard protection, so then you basically have 30% because you're getting 10% from your watch. And then we got the 90% health pool, which is the highest health pool in the game, which I wish one day would just add a 1 to the 190. But the highest health pool in the game, so you have to basically obtain to put this on. And you see we got it with armor, crit damage, and health. And that's what we have for that, for the highest health pool when it comes to that, or at least for Seska. We're talking about the talent. So now we have Obliterate. You see we have all red, crit chance, crit damage, you just go crazy. All red is not hard to get it. And we also have Obliterate. Critical hits increase total weapon damage about 1% for 10 seconds. Stacks up to 20%, right? Not to fool you, listen to this. Now let's go to the backpack. Now we have the same backpack, all red, but guess what? We have Unstoppable Force. Killing that enemy increases total weapon damage by 5 seconds for 15 seconds. Like, and stacks up 5 times. You see what I'm saying? So you times that with Obliterate, yo, you going crazy. And you already seen how much reds we got. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, we got 4 reds. And we hitting 4, well, we're gonna get to the Oxpecker, but we hitting crazy amount of damage numbers. I'm gonna show you the Oxpecker stats soon. But let's talk about another exotic, right? Because I've been playing with this lately. I've been going back and forth. So I would say this before I talk about this. You could go back and forth. Me, it just depends on the situation and the areas I'm fighting. But you could go with the Overdogs or the Exotic Gloves. So, but I went with Overdogs because it's new and I've just been trying to actually like train myself to learn how to use it. But basically it comes with crits, everything crits, crit chance, crit damage, that's all you can see. And then it gives you a talent where it gives you amplifies weapon damage by 30% to the lowest ranking enemies currently in combat. And as you see, it got all the stats from the hunters and rogues. But basically I look at this as the more you play with this, you start to understand more on what's like basically a tank, an assault, a hunter. Like eventually you know what those are, but the more you play with it, you start to tend to look out for that. So when you play with the gloves, but mainly just throw these on, bro, and just shoot stuff and kill. Like honestly, it ain't really too much mind for it. You're gonna oversaturate your brain trying to look for specific things to kill. So I'll just, whatever I see, I just shoot, and I do damage, as you see. So I don't really overthink it. But if you feel like this is not working out for you, you could go with the Exotic Gloves. Your armor breaks, you basically put people, well, you basically go into a smoke cloud and you are concealing yourself and you get your armor back. So you could use any one of those you want, but in this case we're using their Overdogs. So in that case, now let's talk about the skills. Get the skills out the way. Striker Shield, specifically Striker Shield comes with the Firewall Specialist. If you don't, like I said, if you don't want to use the Firewall Specialist, you have to use a Crusader Shield for any skills you want. And I also use a Defender Drone because I just want to soak up bullets. But if you feel like you're dying fast, then you could just use a reviver eye. But you need to use a shield, because what we're about to talk about is why you need to use a shield. So let's dive into that right now. So now we're talking about the Oxpecker, right? You see, we got to hit it for 119, 73k. Crazy amount of damage. But 119.73k, 1,216 RPM, 50 in the mag, and it got crazy optimal range. You see the Oxpecker got crazy stats, 50% optimal range, 15% critical hit chance, and optimum range is slept on because for a SMG to have optimum range, you could basically beam from far. So the further you can shoot this gun, the better it is, because you basically don't have to get up close to, you know, be up in opponent's face to get the gun to really landing all your shots and making everything. So, but we got a 30% expertise, damage target out of cover, and then we have the talent. Now we have this talent. Now I said this in my previous video, I don't think it's working as intended, but I don't see it as a problem because you could still die. You see, it's like a trade-off. You need to use your shield, but when you see what the talent says, while having the shield deployed, lose shield health at a rate of 10% for a second. Your shield receives repairs of 25% damage dealt to the weapon. And that's what I'm saying, because as you see, when I actually put my health down, this is why I think that it's not working as intended, but I don't feel like it's broken. I pull the shield out, you see, when I shoot, I get all my health back, as you see. But as you see right here, I do not get my health back if I just shoot it like this. So you have to pull out the shield, you see what I'm saying? And this is why I'm trying to say to myself that I feel like it's bugged, but it's not a problem. It actually makes the gun viable. It actually makes use of the gun. And you could put this on with any build, any talent. As long as you have the Oxpecker and the shield, you would be able to get all your health back from just doing this. That's it. And as you see, we got health on kill with the specialist, so even if we kill an enemy, we're getting right back to 25% health on kill, and then we get this on top, so you can really see the synergy of what's going on with the build. So I hope the developers don't really fix it. Again, like I said, it's something to make the it gives longevity, it gives something to the gun, right? This gun don't really get played, it don't be used. I see comments, people would say it's exotic component, but with this feature, it's definitely one of my go-to guns, because like how I said before, I love health builds, and there's nothing in the game that really gives you back health. So use this as you want. Hopefully it don't get patched. If it do gets patched, will be a sad day, but hopefully the developers add more like similar things like this to the game so we could get some health back. So just to put that out there, but that's how we have that to work. Again, you could use it with any build, it will work. Now let's go to the stats, because we've been here for a minute. We got 60% critical hit chance and 153 crit damage. And for the GR9, like I said, it ain't really my main, but we got 46% crit chance and 153 crit damage, which is crazy amount of stats. And that's decent amount for LMG, because we don't really have to be at the highest crit chance, because we got a lot of damage and expertise on top of it. But yeah, that would basically be it for this. You know, I just came out here to show y'all this again. And yeah, the Oxpecker is definitely my go-to. The Backfire was definitely my go-to last season, but at least with this feature, the Oxpecker, like I said, actually makes me want to use this weapon, and it actually makes the game feel unique and brings back OG clutch vibes, if you know what I'm talking about. But I will leave it to that. Now, hopefully y'all enjoy this build. Hopefully y'all go out there and try to obtain these weapons or obtain some of these items, and y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel about it. But y'all already know how we do things, man. We do this every week. We always bounce back with some crazy builds, man. So if you're new, leave a like. If you're a returner person, leave a comment. And if you a hater, you already know I'll catch you when I catch you. Stay safe out there, agents. Have an exuberant day, an exuberant week, and I'll catch you in my next video. Y'all know where to come to for them crazy unique builds. It's your boy K. Peace.
Yeah, boy, you're right.